A picture-perfect early fall evening in the Valley hosts a Richland County rivalry and kickoff to the 2025 MOAC season tonight as emerging playmaker Devyn Oswalt and the Colts of Clear Fork take on a young but very talented Ontario Warrior squad in a battle of 2-1 teams that you can only watch exclusively right here on the OH Report. It's live, it's free, and it's coming up next.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
This is our in-body machine, so you're gonna see what you're made of, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, what type of fat, where is the muscle, where is the fat, and then also super important, how much water do you have and where is the water? Is it inside of your cell or outside of your cell? So the in-body is a super quick process. You get all of this information in about 5 minutes. You just stand on the scale, you hold on to some handles, it sends electrical impulses through your body, nothing you feel, and this prints out immediately. So you'll leave with a piece of paper with all of your results on it, and it will also send it to your phone. We also spend a couple minutes helping you interpret your results so that you can learn what they mean. So you'll leave with a lot of information. It only costs $40. You can get online and sign up for an appointment, or you can call in and make an appointment today.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report. It's the GEP pregame show. Super exciting night and a patriotic one as well here in the Valley. Longtime county rivals meeting to get MOAC play underway. Big game to kick off the conference season, and it's just a few short minutes away. Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Colt Corral. I am Brian Skowronski, Effie James, my sidekick tonight. And as a dude who's from Richland County, Effie, you can really appreciate anytime two of these local rivals get together. It's just it's one heck of a scene out here.
Yeah, it's almost a picture-perfect scene for a Richland County rivalry game. Sunny day, fans are out. We're celebrating the colors. A really nice atmosphere for a great game.
And we just about got the table set, but first, we're going to honor America before we dive deeper into our pregame show and tell you about Clear Fork, Ontario, and their season so far up to this point. Big salute to the Clear Fork Marching Band, and the fireworks already popping off here. Haven't even had a touchdown yet, and already the party is started here in the Valley. But let's tell you about the opponent first here tonight. Ontario 2-1. Back-to-back victories now for the Warriors, shrugging off an opening night loss to Lexington. They shredded Madison, though, last week in their home opener, which I think is exactly what a roster filled with sophomores and freshmen really need heading into a rivalry game. They got some confidence, I think, Effie, back-to-back wins.
Yeah, nothing like a couple wins to get you going for a big game like this. And, this young team is really, no matter who you play, putting up big numbers on offense like they've been doing here in the last couple of weeks is impressive. So this is going to be a big challenge for them. But like you said, they're coming into this game with a lot of confidence, and that should go a long way in this game.
And they always travel well, but especially when you only got to go about 10 miles away, it kind of helps. But a lot of people in blue out here in the stadium tonight looking to see if this team can win 3 consecutive games here after that week 1 loss against their rival. And if they're going to do it, Effie, this guy definitely going to be a big part of it. Kooper Kilgore, he's just a sophomore, but he's like a stick of dynamite every time he touches the ball. I mean, look at the yards per carry. That is absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't play a huge role on defense either, so I really expect this kid to get a ton of touches tonight. And even though he's only 15 years old, he's just got a little bit of a presence about him. He's a very physical player, but he'll have to go head-to-head with these boys right here. Clear Fork heading out onto the field, waving their flags in one of the coolest scenes. They've got all the American flags coming through, too. Just a very patriotic city. The World Fair's in town, too.
Right,
so there's a lot of juice running through the veins out here in the Valley tonight.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's just great weather. It's a great scene tonight for this game. And like you said, Ontario is, as they come out on the field, they are, they're going to have to be ready for this atmosphere, in which Clear Fork is always going to be their crowd, their community is always ready for games in this community. But Clear Fork's going to have to be ready to play. No matter, I don't think Clear Fork players care if they're young or old or experienced or not. They're going to have to be ready to play in this ball game from the beginning. So the competitive juices got to be flowing from the kickoff. But I think both teams, with this being such a close rivalry in terms of how close the schools are,
sure, I
think this is going to be a really interesting game, because you don't know what you're going to get. On paper you say, oh, well, this team or that team, but once the teams get out there on the field and they start playing against each other, that's how you know how this game is going to go. The physicality will tell how things are going to go from the beginning.
And this is a really physical Colt team this year, nearly completing a late-game comeback on the road at Lexington last week. But what I like most about them, what an improved offense, Effie. They were the worst in the MOAC last year. It just looked challenging for them every single snap. They couldn't complete very many passes. Now they're over 200 a game. This is a squad that they're brimming with confidence, and they were just a play away from being 3-0.
Yeah, and those games and those seasons teach you. A lot of those young men were on that team last year, and they were taught a lot in those games and those experiences, and they have come back and they are playing a physical brand of football. And Coach Brokaw, you can tell he tells and he expects them to play physical on both sides of the football field. These Warriors are going to have to be ready to play physical all 4 quarters tonight.
And they're going to have to try to handle Devyn Oswalt, filling the shoes of Jay Jackson very admirably so far, who was their big play threat the last couple of years. I mean, we've been seeing it, man. He's got incredible speed. He's a track stud and starting to emerge as the go-to guy no matter where they are on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, as we've seen in the games we've seen, he's got a different gear than a lot of other players out here on the field.
And with that, that'll put a bow on our GEP pregame show, as we are all set for action out here in the Valley. And Clear Fork's going to have the football first. Check them out, 1st and 10. Talked about the offensive prowess that they've had here lately. Now, second-year starter Marcus Hoflick, feeling a lot more comfortable in the system. He's bulked up a little bit, too, heading into his junior campaign. And definitely he's been able to just get a vibe for things out here. And he'll start this with a handoff. Porter Schmidt loses the football. And one play, and it looks like the Warriors already have turned him over. Boy, what a change of events. All the emotion running through the building here. And Ontario strikes with a big one.
Wow, and that's a big play. Clear Fork trying to establish the run on the first play of the game, and that early turnover, those are the types of things that can turn the tide of the game, and Warriors get a chance to get the ball really close to the red zone and see what their offense can do here early.
wasn't anticipating seeing the sophomore quarterback Trey Remy and his unit come out here this early in the game. As they'll come, show one bunch formation. They'll motion it to the other side. Now Remy's going to hand off to our spotlight. That's Kilgore. He's hitting the backfield, and then he'll be dropped down. Not a lot there. Ben Campbell coming in to clean up the mess. It'll be second down.
Yeah, and, we can expect to see a lot from Kilgore. And as you talked about earlier, especially when you go on the road, you got to go with what's been successful. And Kilgore has, been an offensive weapon. So we expect to see him get a lot of touches, either by handoff or by through the passing game.
Spread him out, empty set this time, just whips it to the perimeter. Couple of nice moves, and you see the speed. Pretty elusive stuff there from Grady Muncie, but it'll still be third down on the way here for Ontario, a couple of yards shy of moving the chains.
Yeah, nice little swing pass out to Muncie there. It's basically an extension of the run game. Nice play on second down to pick up a few yards, but this is a big third down as Clear Fork tries to escape from that turnover. If they can get out of this with just a field goal attempt, they would love it.
Handoff. This goes right side, stacked up at the line to gain, but a little bit of a scrum in the push. The extra effort might have got exactly what Ontario needed.
Yeah, that's going to be close. I think they're going to get the first down here. Yeah, they're going to give it to them.
So it's going to be a Mechanics Bank first down, the first of the evening for the Warriors. And it's Kooper Kilgore. Just kept the legs moving. Coaching staff told me just what a beast in the weight room this kid was during the summer, and it's really been paying off so far in the early portion of the season.
Yeah, I think it was that second effort like you talked about, Brian, because initially Clear Fork had done a great job of stopping that run just short of the first down, but that second effort pushed him through to give him enough yardage for the line of gain.
Got an equipment issue there with Guy Trader, the senior. Checks out of the lineup. They'll bring in a fellow senior. Brady Rowe replaces him on the outside. In Ontario, they got a bunch of dudes, a lot of quality athletes, just plenty of them. That they're young, and it looks like the officials kind of picking on a few of these kids.
Little stickler tonight.
So Caden Bostic also is going to head over to the sideline, and he'll have to be replaced for a down here.
Those mouthpieces together.
Peering over to the sideline. Try to get a changing call here. Remy with a fresh set. Going to go to the air now. Has to step up. Heavy traffic, and he'll be laid down to rest. Clear Fork with the first sack of the night.
And this was supposed to be what looked like a short pass. He was supposed to get rid of it, but Clear Fork with the tight coverage, Remy just had nowhere to go with the football. They took away his initial throw, and that pressure got right to him, right in his face. Caused a sack.
Julian Mills, the first to get there and make contact. Able to bring Remy down. Only about a 3-yard loss, though. Firing good, pitch and catch. The connection with Muncie. And that's going to be right at the sticks. A little bit shy.
This is a nice throw on the double slant concept, and Remy able to step in and put that right in between the numbers, as that first slant was able to clear out the window, and he stuck that right in. Really nice throw by the young quarterback.
Gets him 12 of the 13. Here they are, third short. Kilgore's got the carry, stuffed up initially and can't get away from the second wave either. It's Ben Campbell feasting on him in the backfield, and a decision to be made now by Aaron Eckert and the coaching staff.
Well, this is a great job of just getting straight penetration by the Clear Fork defense. And they just stuffed the hole and then stay with it. That was the difference. That last time they were able to, Kilgore was able on his second effort. That time they were able to wrap him up in the backfield and get him on the ground.
They're going to try for the 3 points here, Effie.
Mm-hmm.
Muncie in there to hold. Kilgore, who was the starting kicker a season ago as a freshman and did an awesome job in there to try to make this a 3-0 game, and he booms it through. So the Warriors are able to capitalize on the giveaway from Clear Fork on the first play of the night from scrimmage. And they're on top here on the road.
Well, and they gave up 3 points there, but I will tell you, if I'm Coach Brokaw, that is a small win because they took over just outside the red zone, and they're fortunate not to give up 7 points. So, but right now, you got to shake that off. If you are the Clear Fork offense, you got to shake that off. You were able to hold them to 3. You get a chance to get the ball back on offense again. You got to regroup and try to put together a solid drive this time.
Another look at the 3 points tacked on here by Kilgore. Cooper 11 for 12 on the year in place kicking in terms of PATs. And continues to be a real weapon in the kicking game. As I mentioned, as a freshman last year, best season in program history, 12 wins, and he played a huge role on that team.
Yeah, that's an impressive drive by Ontario. Even though they came up with 3, I like the balance. 4 running plays, 3 pass attempts, inside the 30-yard line. That's, that could be a sign of things to come, that they could have a lot of balance here in this offense.
Momentum takes Nash Evans into the end zone, but Clear Fork, 1 play, 1 fumble. Porter Schmidt with the giveaway to start things off. Coaching staff, as you mentioned, probably pleased that the defense was able to hold them to just the 3 points. But now, can this offense that's had the engine roaring here of late keep the momentum going here against an Ontario defense that they've been playing pretty solid as well? The last 2 weeks, only giving up 6 points and 6 points. So 2 touchdowns is all that's been surrendered the last couple. Again, they'll hand it off. It's Schmidt again. Falls forward out across the 20 and not a lot more. So a nice job here by the Warriors.
Warriors are really being stout up front. They're standing up the offensive linemen as Ontario tries to pull a guard through, and that time the Warriors are real stout up front, holding that run to just 1 yard, 2nd and 9 here for the Colts.
Hoflick with 3 wide this time, back to pass for the first time. Little head and shoulder fake, and it's going to be incomplete, trying to hook up with Nash Evans. Felt like miscommunication on both sides. They each put their hands up.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where the quarterback is supposed to read. That looks like that could have been an option route where he's supposed to read that linebacker. If he goes in, you go out type of read, and just a miscommunication. But now you got a 3rd and long, where right now as an offense, you really want to get this drive to sustain some momentum here.
Marcus fires to the outside. This time he's got the connection and a first down. Jacob Brokaw with the snatch.
This is a nice completion. Able to step in. Throws a nice hook route. And that time he makes the connection. And sometimes football is simple. You go to the empty spot. You show the quarterback your numbers. The quarterback executes, makes the nice throw for the first down.
So after the Mechanics Bank first down, Marcus hands off again. The run defense has been stout. Ontario right there yet again. And the man in the middle, Maddox Smith, makes the first contact, and really just no gain on the play.
Yeah, right now Clear Fork's offensive line having some trouble getting movement on the D line. That time Maddox Smith was right there. He did not budge on that play. He shrugged off the offensive lineman and was able to get in and make the play on the running back.
Little rotation in terms of personnel here for the Colts. So they'll bring the man in motion. It's Evans. He's got the give. Jet sweep here near side. He cuts upfield. He's got a hole, and Evans into enemy territory. Another first down, and the biggest gain so far for the Clear Fork offense tonight.
Yeah, and I really like this switch up. They have been really going interior run, interior run, interior run. And this time they go with the jet sweep and I think they caught the Warriors off balance. They were really stepping inside. That time they go with the perimeter run, and they caught them on their heels that time for the big gain and another first down.
Brady Rowe with the potential touchdown saving tackle. From the Ontario 48, here's our player spotlight, Oswalt. And boy, we told you he can really cook. Lick gonna go to the outside. Number 8 keeps his feet, and he's in there. Cue the fireworks. Colts are on the board. What an exciting player Devyn Oswalt has become.
Wow. Well, we talked about his other gear, Brian, and I'll show you where he hit it right here. And there were guys had an angle, but just not enough because he's got a little bit different speed than the guys in the Ontario secondary. So, and he's deceptive. You don't know how fast he is until he gets going. He gets around that corner.
So the big shot in the arm for Clear Fork, Devyn Oswalt. 48-yard run into the end zone. Puts Clear Fork on top for the first time tonight. They lead now 7-3.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Devyn Oswalt, the game breaker, his 5th touchdown of the year. We'll spin it back one more time for you guys and watching this in real time. Couple of Warriors certainly had the angle. You see the Rowe does right there. Fowler as well. Another track kid that's really got some speed, but there's levels to everything as we just saw, Mr. James.
Absolutely. Impressive.
This will be taken inside the 5-yard line. Little stutter step, and Trey Fowler just has nowhere to go. The coverage unit puts the Warriors down and out. They'll take over right about their own 17-yard line. Just a picturesque setting out here in the valley tonight, about 74 degrees at kickoff. And as mentioned, they've got their street fair going on, so half the community's out on the town and then spilling their way over here, and there is not an empty spot in either side of the bleachers, Effie. The hillside is absolutely packed. I get here 2.5 hours early. There were people laying out their blankets, making sure that they got the right spot. So
this is nice.
Awesome environment. So far, it's been a great game. Each offense has been able to move the ball, and they will again right here. This is Kilgore, and he's got a Mechanics Bank first down. Another touch for the sophomore. And this kid, he's just built different.
Yeah. And this was a great job by Kilgore recognizing the blocking scheme. He saw nothing was there. It was supposed to go off tackle, so he bounces it and then gets vertical. You know, a lot of times you get outside too far. That time he saw right away it was time to get vertical. He gets upfield and gets positive yards, able to gain that first down.
Remy sets, looks left, looks right, comes back after the pump fake. Mahon.
Ooh.
And really handsy. We're going to get a flag here.
And I think it's a good call, although I don't even think it was necessary. There was some hand fighting going on. But I think as we watch it here on the replay, I think there was a grab, right? There was a grab that happened that just wasn't necessary. Hopefully it kind of reached out and grabbed that inside arm, and that was really kind of restricted the receiver from making a play on the ball. Oh, how about it?
Yeah, they're actually going to eat the flag here.
How about that? So I think they talked it over and said, hey, look, we're going to let them play tonight. So and I tell you what, if I am the coach, if I'm Coach Eckert for Ontario, I'm like, okay, that's fine, but just make sure you remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that. If we're gonna let them play, we're gonna let them play on both sides.
Just make sure your equipment's right or you're heading to the sideline, boys. Oh, Kilgore with a truck stick. It's Oswalt in the backfield as our player spotlights collide. And Kooper getting the upper hand there initially. Campbell coming over, and it's a nice stop. Really nowhere to go. Might have lost a half yard. Boom.
Whoa. Yeah, that's big time on both sides.
Hitting harder than the moonshine, I think they make out here in the Valley, baby. You can feel that one. Taste it a little bit. Still goes for a loss. Just the second third down Ontario's faced so far. They're going to go to the sky. Way overthrown, and Nash Evans is there. Evans with the interception, and now we're all even at a turnover apiece as the Colts back in business offensively.
Yeah, this ball just sails on him, and you could tell he kind of didn't have his feet set, and he was on his back foot there. That ball just sailed on him. He had a receiver open, and the ball just got away from him that time. So the Colts now in business in Ontario territory.
Fifth interception of the season by Trey Remy. Oswalt in motion, right to left. They'll run that way. Here's Porter Schmidt. Wrapped up down low. Carson Moritz able to get a piece of a leg. 4-yard pickup, though, here on first down. And the best first down play, really, so far here to start a drive for the Colts.
Yeah, and I think for the Colts, they have been really trying to establish some inside runs, but they have had a lot of success so far with the perimeter runs. And I think they're going to have to continue trying to establish something inside, but right now they've had a lot of success with the perimeter run. I think we're going to see a lot more of that here moving forward.
Officially a gain of 3. Design quarterback keeper all the way. Marcus kept the high needs trucking, and he's got a first down. 8-yard gainer here for Marcus Hoflick. And he's becoming a bit more involved in the rushing attack this season. Now as a junior, that's his 26th carry to the first 3 games and a quarter.
Yeah, that is, a read play, but they pulled the guard. So I think it was, it's made to look like a read, but he was going to keep that all the way. They pulled the guard around to be the lead blocker, and that's a well-executed play by the offense for their third first down of the night.
Here's Oswalt. They scored on this play last time he touched it, and not deja vu, but able to cut back upfield, and you just collectively kind of hold your breath anytime number 8 gets his paws on it. He's just got a different dimension.
Well, good job that time by Ontario that time of setting the edge. That time, number 2, Guy Trader, comes up and does a great job of not necessarily trying to make the play, but forcing Oswalt to bring it back inside, stopping him from getting to the perimeter, and that makes all the difference on a big play. So great job that time defensively by the Warriors.
Clock spinning, under 3 minutes to go here. Opening quarter. Again, it's going to be Hoflick calling his own number to the outside. Dishes out a little bit of pain. He's right at the sticks, too. Actually, a shade beyond, so back-to-back first down runs for the quarterback. And right outside the 10-yard line, the Colts offense continue to move it.
Yeah, I think the Colts are understanding that inside the guard runs was not being successful, so they are finding things off tackle, perimeter runs, stretching the field, making the Warrior defense defend the entire field now is working for them so far, especially in the run game.
Bring in a heavy package now, a couple of tight ends, and they'll run right side. I think Maglet got in there to upend the ball carrier. Porter Schmidt just had very little wiggle room, and that is Trenton Maglet. One of the few returners, but for Ontario, they do have some veterans on the interior, and you've seen that they're winning quite a few of those matchups here so far tonight.
Yeah, Maglet and the rest of the defensive front, they are really stout up front. They are not budging. When there is a base blocking scheme, they are not budging up front. They're doing a really good job of holding the line up front. Where they're being hurt is on the perimeter runs or anything down block or off tackle.
Stretch this one out. Hoflick stutter steps back against the grain, and a nice arm tackle is made. Looked like that was Carson Moritz. Was able to get one of his mitts on him and strong enough hands to pull down Marcus. And now the Colts will have to face a third down after a pickup of 1. Clock moving. I think it's worth stating for you guys, for our football games, we just cannot get a good shot of the clock for you. So unfortunately, all you can really see is the minute and then half of the first second. So don't put any text out there in the chat letting me know about the clock. I am well aware. We just got to pull in our way. And now we've got a timeout. Timeout taken by Clear Fork. And with that, speaking of the chat section, jump on the YouTubes. Let's see if we got anybody chiming in just yet. Looks like we do not. 265 of you all watching together out there on the YouTube platform, so do make your voice heard. Let me know where you're watching from tonight, who you're cheering for, all of the good stuff. Keep me informed about what's going on with you as a fan, and we'll do the same out here. So shout us out. We'll shut you out right back. That's what makes us unique and different from what you might watch on TV or whatever, Effie, is that we can actually interact with the folks at home.
Sure. Talking to everybody and, getting that instant gratification to let you, almost like you're in the booth with us almost, that feel. I think that's cool. I've watched you guys at a couple soccer games. I always like chiming in when you guys are doing soccer games. I still don't. I played soccer when I was young, so I don't remember all the rules. But I always like listening to you guys call the game.
I'm learning a lot about you tonight.
Yeah.
You're going to be watching The Lord of the Rings tomorrow on repeat?
Absolutely.
Soccer fan,
all
a man
four
of
of them.
layers.
All 4 of them.
Little heat comes in. Hoflick steps up, out of trouble. And he's reaching. He's going to be a little bit short. But he got 8.5 of the 9 needed. 4th down is on the way here for Clear Fork, but definitely great play here by Marcus Hoflick, sensing the pressure and wasn't quite sure he was going to get away from Mason Augustine. Steps up in a nice play.
Yeah, Hoflick doing a great job, especially this drive with his legs being a weapon, just an added weapon now to this Clear Fork offense. Just another weapon to account for the Warriors, where he is. That time he went back to pass and then saw the opening and went ahead for 8 yards.
They're going to give it to Alex Schlosser, the up man. Think caught everybody off guard. They didn't have to snap. It could have taken the quarter, but they've got it. That's going to be a Clear Fork first down, and that is how the first quarter is going to end, with Clear Fork on top 7-3. They are threatening here at home in this Richland County rivalry. We'll be right back in the Valley. Show you how this drive caps off in just a minute.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
First and goal here for Clear Fork as we rejoin the action here in the second quarter. They're about a half yard away, and Ontario is able to shut them down here momentarily. So we welcome you back to the Valley. Gorgeous night, and if you're a Colts fan, you're liking the view so far. They lead at 7-3, and you see they're right here on the doorstep yet again. Got Oswalt at tight end, Schlosser the up man. They'll hand off Porter Schmidt, and he'll get wrapped up in the backfield. So Ontario playing some stout run defense. Gavin Miller racing in, makes a nice stop, coach's kid, and we got third down all of a sudden on the way here, Effie.
Well, I tell you what, two plays in a row, Ontario has been really stout. The first play, it was Maglot that time. They get into the backfield for even a loss. Now it's going to bring up third down, and Clear Fork is losing yardage here down on the goal line. So the Warrior defense has decided you will not run inside to score, and here is a bad snap. Wow.
Insult to injury. You were pretty much just bookmarking a touchdown for him. First and goal inside of the 1. And now this sets him way back. Maybe even outside of field goal range, but you can't punt from here either.
They got to go. They're going to try a field goal, looks like.
Fourth down, 27 yards. And they are going to try to tack on a 44-yard field goal for Nash Evans, who was the hero opening night. Kicked a walk-off game-winning field goal against Perkins in his first career varsity kick. We'll see if he's got the leg to knock this one down. It's going to be wide left, off target in Ontario with the stand.
Well, I will tell you what, Brian, MVP of that drive for Ontario, number 62, Trenton Maglot, and number 22, Gavin Miller. Those last two plays, they came in and made plays in the backfield on the goal line, and then third down they get the bad snap, and that is why you continue to play. You continue to play. Clear Fork had to put together a nice drive to get to the goal line. A lot of times teams just give up, but those players made plays on the goal line, and third down they get a bad snap, and here we go. Now you take over on offense, give your team another chance because you just kept playing. So great job by the Ontario Warrior defense.
Total swing of momentum, and especially if the offense can capitalize right here for the Warriors as Remy with his first carry of the night. Davis Hoflick comes up for a nice stop. Double leg to bring down the big 6'6" sophomore. And I think eventually he's going to start realizing, even though he's a young kid, he's going to be a menace to tackle in the open field, Effie. And with due time and snaps, I think his confidence is going to keep rising in this department.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the quarterback ISO out of that formation. Aggressive blocking up front. They use the back as the lead blocker. And I think that's a great play call for a quarterback that size.
Picked up 6 on first down. Now he's going back to the sky. He's picked off again. Second interception of the night for the Clear Fork defense. Caden Bostic has it in his hands. And the Colts defense put him back in business yet again.
Wow. The highs and lows of playing with young quarterbacks. Because he has a man open, and because I think there is room, but, he puts the ball in jeopardy, basically where he places the football. He puts a little more air under the ball. I think he gives his receiver a better chance. It may not be completed, but his receiver has a chance to make the play. But he'll learn that as he gains more experience. But as it goes, Clear Fork gets the ball and another turnover, another opportunity to score here in Warrior territory.
2 takeaways so far through the sky for the Colts, and they want it all going deep. Oswalt behind the defense with the throw, takes him out of bounds. They had him.
Yeah. Oswalt is wide open down the sideline for some reason. I don't know how or why he's so open, but he is. And Hoflick missed him.
Trey Fowler knew it too. You see the shoulder shrug looking over at the cornerback. So a missed opportunity for the Colts. 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll come out with 3 wide. Bring Evans in motion. And they'll hand it off to Nash. He's got a nice burst. One of the few flags we've seen so far tonight comes in. As it stands right now, 5-yard pickup. It's in the area of holding, and this one will come back.
First penalty for Clear Fork, and like you said, we've had a pretty clean game here, and good blocking up front. But someone grabbed a hold, and referee's right on top of it there, so it puts the Colts here behind the sticks. 2nd and very long here.
Julian Mills with the power slam picked up the infraction, so it sets him back. Puts him in a passing situation now. Marcus sets, fires. Too tall for Evans.
Yeah, Evans would like that ball back. That's a little high, but that is one that he would like to have back. That goes right through his hands. And, there was potentially some contact coming his way, but I'm sure he'd like to have that one back. That was one he probably could catch, but brings up 3rd and extremely long here for the Colts. And, Ontario up front has established that there's only certain things that you can do. Their secondary has been pretty solid, so they're going to have to come up with a big stop here on 3rd down.
They bring 5. Here's a throw to the perimeter. Oswalt's got the catch, but another hanky on the field will probably wipe this one out.
Number 13 Curry on the tackle, got a flag on the play.
Ineligible downfield for the Colts. Ontario's going to accept and all the way back into their own side of the 50 here, Effie.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, a couple of penalties got Marcus in the game way behind the chains here. Need 25 yards.
I'm thinking we see a give to Oswalt here.
He's in there at the H-back spot at the moment. He's going to come across the middle. He does have a lot of green in front of him, but the heat up the middle prevents Marcus from finding anybody downfield. And the Warriors defense again coming through, answering the phone.
Yeah, this is a just great job of getting pressure on the quarterback, and Ontario coming with the outside pressure and forcing Hoflick to run, and then there's nowhere to go in the secondary. They got pressure with that front 4. They were able to sink their secondary, sink their linebackers, so there was nowhere for him to go with the football. And he had to try to get outside and end up throwing the ball away. Great defensive stop by the Warriors.
Evans with the punt, angling it away from the speedy Guy Trader. But he takes this one and cutting back against the grain. He's got something formulating now. Out across the 20, he's still running. Here goes Trader to the 45-yard line. Excellent decision to go ahead and pick it up inside of his own 5, and a couple late flags fly in here at the end of the play.
About the 45-yard line. He's forced him out of bounds for clear for a flag on the play.
So as they unravel what transpired, it's going to wipe out some of this gorgeous return. We'll show you. Cutting back against the grain. And the flags came in right here. So, yeah, Porter Schmidt gets clipped in the back. And that'll set him back 15 yards. But the Ontario defense, back-to-back interceptions by Clear Fork. They're down to the 1-yard line, and then they set up shop at the 35. missed field goal and a punt.
Yeah, they are playing well, and that last series helped along by some untimely turnover or penalties, I should say, by the Clear Fork offense. But the Warrior defense playing well here this second quarter so far, really helping out their offense.
Kilgore fakes left, comes back with a give. Here's Kooper getting to the second level, knocked down by Evans after he got wrapped up down low by Marcus Hoflick. And that'll be a 10-yard pickup and a Mechanics Bank first down.
And Kilgore running with power. I mean, he's bouncing off guys, dragging guys, and getting forward for that first down yardage.
Over 350 now for a sophomore season, but just nowhere to go. All the oxygen taken out by Alex Schlosser, flying in to make the stop in the backfield.
And that time, Clear Fork comes with the linebackers do a great job reading that play right away. Nobody steps in to block the linebacker. He comes clean, and that time he wraps up Kilgore and gets him down on the ground. I think before that, they've been trying with arm tackles and trying to clip him on the legs. You have seriously got to wrap this young man up and bring him to the ground.
Remy's last couple of passes have been picked and make it 3 in a row. Davis Hoflick from the safety spot came right at him.
Okay.
Nightmare performance by Trey Remy here in this first half, but the Warriors defense has been up for the challenge on the change of possession, but here's another just overthrow so far as what it's been.
Well, now you got to talk to your quarterback, because now that one he just threw. He had pressure in his face, and, he just put that one up because it was a pass called. And there was no receiver there, and he just said, I got to get it off. And, that you got to get better here.
Oswalt, third carry of the night. Pick up about 4 yards here to start the new drive for the Colts. And again, in Ontario's territory, on their side of the fields, so far they have not come away with any points.
Well, and for Clear Fork side, they've got to be a little bit disappointed. They haven't been able to take advantage of these turnovers. And Ontario side, they've got to be a little bit happy with the fact their defense have been able to come in and be firefighters, which is their job to some extent. But you don't want to continue to put them in those positions, but to some degree that's their job.
Another design quarterback run. Marcus Hoflick's been busy as a ball carrier so far early in this ball game, as the clock trickling under 6 minutes to go here before the halftime break, and we will have each band performance for you guys tonight, as we always do on the OH Report. 2 yards needed here for Hoflick in the offense. He's going to run again. Flag comes in, and I believe this will go against the Colts, and maybe unnecessary roughness at the end of this one too.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure of the flag, but I'll tell you what, Carson Moritz, he met Hoflick in the hole with a picture-perfect tackle, drives him back.
And the Colts are going to drive themselves back again. Third penalty against them the last couple of offensive possessions. So way behind the sticks again. Let's show you this fantastic tackle.
Carson Moritz, boom, and then drives his feet, which is such a difficult skill to teach young players. He does a great job with the contact, drives his feet.
The Colts are set back now. Need 16 yards to get the chain game back on the move here on 3rd and long. 5-step drop. He's going to have to take off. A lot of turf in front of Marcus Hoflick. Drug down right near the line to gain. That's going to be very close. They're going to give it to him. Improvisation right here, Effie.
This is a nice run. In and out, avoiding tacklers, sees the sticks, makes sure he gets the first down. Great job.
So Hoflick again with a little bit of magic in his legs.
Yeah. Hoflick has been a big weapon here in this second quarter for Clear Fork's offense.
He'll just hand it off this time. Not a lot there. First carry for Braden Hayes tonight. He's been shuttling in and out of the lineup for the first 3 weeks, splitting time with Porter Schmidt, which allows each of them to be fresh at the end of the game. Just has not been used up until this moment. 25th carry of the year. He's at about 110 yards.
And that time, once again, the Warrior defensive line is just very tough to get any movement on right now. When there's base blocking up front, hard to get movement on that defensive front, and they are doing a great job of shedding those blocks and making a play right at the point of attack.
Timeout taken by the Ontario Warriors. Gives me a chance to say what up to Amanda Tritchu out there watching live and free tonight, as is Adam Gregg cheering on the Colts. Dan Jarvis watching from Austin, Texas, also cheering on Clear Fork. Nashville, Tennessee represented out there too by Mark Frazee. And then from Clear Fork West, our boy Jerry Marshall watching from Colorado Springs, watching the Stampede out here up high in the Rockies. Donald watching the boys from San Diego. So they're littered pretty much anywhere here but the Buckeye State. So
how about it?
We've got a national viewing audience tonight.
Nice.
And Julian Mills' grandparents are in South Carolina. Love being able to watch every Friday night. Love having you on the broadcast as well, Deanna. Got to enjoy what they've been seeing here defensively from both sides, no matter who you're a fan of. Ontario's been put in a couple of not-so-great situations, but they've stood up to the challenge, and the Colts have been very opportunistic against a sophomore quarterback, letting it fly out there, and they've got 3 interceptions already. On a 2nd and 10, Hayes stays in there to block. Hoflick, nice touch, near side. Here's Evans with a move around the perimeter, and he's got a Mechanics Bank first down.
Nice throw by Hoflick on the quick out. Nice opportunity for yards after the catch, and Evans doing a good job of avoiding that first tackler, and that's your job as a receiver, is not allowing that first man to tackle you. Get upfield, get what you can, and try to keep the sticks moving.
Evans, the second leading receiver on the team, now has 8 catches for the campaign, and here he is on the end around jet sweep. Gets 2 before he's swallowed up out to the 25-yard line. Clear Fork continues to show an array of different formations, new ball carriers, trying to keep Ontario on their toes.
And they have had a number of guys carry the football. They're doing just enough with the passing game. They're trying to show a lot of balance. They're inside runs, outside runs. But right now, Ontario has done a really good job, considering, like we talked about, the positions they've been put in by their offense. They've been doing a really good job of keeping Clear Fork off the scoreboard to this point.
Hoflick going to go to the back of the end zone, double coverage. Intended for Devyn Oswalt. 3rd and 8 on the way for the Colts.
That is great coverage that time by Ontario. And if I am Coach Eckert, that is what I'm saying. If Oswalt is out in the route, I need 2 Warriors running with him. So great job that time by the Warrior defense.
Trey Fowler locked up on the coverage. Got some help from Brady Rowe, forcing this 3rd down situation. 2.5 minutes to go before we reach the break. Colts have been knocking, have not been able to get through the door, and Hoflick stumbles around. He'll have to break out of the pocket for maybe 2.
Number 2, Marcus Hoflick, the ball carrier for Clearport. It's back to the line of scrimmage.
Warriors defense coming through yet again.
Number 13, Zane Curry, first one beating their
Yeah, just a really good job of continuing to pursue the football. Good job in coverage as well. They dropped back to pass that time. Just nowhere to go with the football for Hoflick. And I think for Hoflick, he's got his eye on his primary receiver. When that guy is covered, he's not able to find his secondary receiver. And when he goes to run, the Warriors doing a really good job, at least that time, of tracking him and getting him on the ground.
It was Zane Curry again in on the tackle, by far the leading stopper on this Ontario defense. Part of that class of 2028. A lot of sophomores carrying the team right now. And we do have somebody watching here at Local Effie. How about Brandon Stone? He's just down the block in Mansfield. Zane Brown wants a shout out. What's going on, Zane? Where are you tuning in from tonight? And Bad Dog 419 says not a catchable ball. And since that was the latest comment, I presume he's talking about the throw to Oswalt in that double team. Interesting situation with a 4th down and 8 here.
Right, 4th and 8, and I do like the timeout call. Trying to preserve some time to see if they can get some points on the board here for Ontario before the half. If they can get this stop here, they can try to mount a drive. But are they going to put the ball in the air? Do you put the ball in the air with your quarterback who's thrown 3 interceptions in the first half? Do you just accept the fact that you're down? Just be happy with the fact you're only down 7-3. I don't know. But that's why we're up here.
And down there, here comes the 4th down play. To the air over the middle. Intended for Brokaw. Had it in his mitts, but Jacob just couldn't squeeze it. A lot of velocity behind that football, and the Warriors defense standing on their head. They make the play and the stop again.
Again, nice job. Nice throw, but that was a hot one. I mean, it hit him in his hands, but I tell you what, that was a hot one. It had a lot on it. He was open. Great protection that time by the offensive line for Clear Fork, but that was a hot ball.
Brokaw, I'm sure, upset with himself they didn't make the catch, but very much was a tough one to bring in at that velocity. As Remy 2 fires a missile in there, and it's going to be incomplete for Grady Muncie.
15 slot here on the coverage for Clearport. Brings up 2nd down and 10.
I like the confidence he has in his young quarterback. He's still throwing the short pass, but I think right now trying to stay away from the inside, the hash mark throws, keeping him out of danger, quick throws. I like the rollout.
Overhead, trying to find Muncie again, the intended target. Back-to-back incompletions, and now all of a sudden, only a couple seconds off the clock, and the Clear Fork defense in a good spot.
Right, and and if I'm Coach Brokaw, do I burn a timeout here? And, am I thinking, hey, can I get the ball back before the half?
The Stampede would certainly love it. Out here sporting their red, white, and blue. Got that American fever here, 9/11 week. As Remy puts a lot of air underneath this one.
Yeah.
And a flag comes in on the coverage. Yeah. Looks like they're going to be rewarded trying to find John Mahon on the far side.
Well, and like we talked about before on the call before, and I think they let Hoflick off the hook on the early one where they picked it up. This one, I don't think they can let go. To me, it's the same call. A little handsy. He grabs the inside arm. It looks exactly like the first time, but this time they can't let it go.
Penalty will move the chains out to the 40-yard line. Go Remy and the Warriors. The minute 18 to go here in quarter number 2. Colts just bring 3, get a little pressure up the middle. Another ball up for grabs. Bostic has one already. He's able to knock it down.
Oh.
But 2 defenders there in the area on the throw for Kai Trader.
If you're a Warrior fan, you are holding your breath. That ball goes over the middle into double coverage. And again, he's got pressure in his face, and he's leaning back as a quarterback. That is a tough throw.
Remy, who's a great baseball player, obviously he's got a rocket for an arm.
He does.
Trying to figure out the quarterback situation. As he's incomplete here, got a 2nd and 10. And that's a much better throw to the outside. Mahon got lit up. Couldn't handle it either, so it'll be 3rd down and a little slow to rise.
And I tell you what, you can tell Remy's arm, I mean, it is effortless. I mean, this is a 12-yard rocket.
Zing.
Boom.
Mahon running without the football. Heard the footsteps of Hoflick.
You know, and I've coached a lot of quarterbacks, and, you know, the tough ones to coach mechanically are always the baseball guys. They always got the strong arms, and they depend so much on those arms. And this kid is wow.
It's going to be an uncatchable ball this time. 3 straight incompletions brings us to 4th down now for the Warriors. So the defenses have each really shined so far here in the first half, as the Colts are about to get the football back here. 1:02 to go, and they've got 1 timeout in their back pocket. Kilgore's into punt. Averages about 37 yards per attempt. This one will go a bit further than that. Got a nice hop.
Well, I think, you know, Ontario defensively has got to feel good. You know, that now they get a chance to defend a lot more field. So with just under a minute to play here, they got to feel good about trying to go into halftime with at least not giving up any more points and just playing solid here and trying to keep Clear Fork from going in with any more points on the board. And Clear Fork, to their credit, they've, you know, as we know, they've got some big-time playmakers here. They can pop a big play. They've got some explosive playmakers on offense.
Here's the ultimate weapon, Oswalt, cutting back against the grain. Flag comes in late as the ball comes loose. Going to say he was down before came squibbing down. Augustine there with the tackle. We'll have to wait and see if this is against the Colts again. It's back in the territory of holding. Clear Fork's had a few of these already.
Wow.
Just really burning themselves with the penalties in this first half.
Well, 5 penalties for Clear Fork, and what's amazing is Ontario has played an absolutely clean game penalty-wise. And, you know, for this to be, you know, a game where both offenses are struggling and, you know, such a tight game, these penalties have really been the difference for the Colts in this ball game.
They'll backtrack to their own 14-yard line as the clock spins under 40 ticks. After the penalty, likely just trying to take this into the break. Schmidt lowers his pads out to the 22. Don't have to run another play if they don't want. Ontario's not going to burn a timeout. Curry with another stop. And the Colts seem content to let these last 10 seconds just trickle away. Fun first half here at the Colt Corral. A couple of 2-1 teams looking to build some momentum. Opening night of MOAC play, and the defenses have each come to play so far here in this one. We've got the halftime band show on the way. Ontario is due up next. Colts on deck. Then we'll break down some first half stats with you. Jackson Yoder is here. He'll have a report. Got you all set for half number 2. Live and free Friday Night Football. We'll be back in Bellville. Just a couple of minutes.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
We carry supplements that are from companies that do a lot of testing. So they will test their raw ingredients. They'll test them afterwards as well. And they're testing for both purity, and then they're also testing for potency. So things like arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease. We have a lot of supplements and also prescriptions we can recommend, and lifestyle type things that can help with that as well.
number was created by ABBA for those who needed a song to describe the end of love. The single became ABBA's fourth and final top 10 hit in the U.S., peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. Grab a tissue to dry your eyes, it's The Winner Takes All. So now that we've each been reminded of our greatest heartbreak, let's pick it up for everyone, back with our final number, one of the most popular disco numbers of the 1970s, and ABBA's only #1 hit in the U.S. Let's get these stands moving with Dancing Queen.
Besides having would like to thank everyone that has made tonight possible. Thank you to our Clear Four hosts, the Ontario Music Booster Club, Ontario Administration, the countless volunteers, and everyone in the stands for their support. Go Warriors! Especially when they can go literally, you don't force it, keep going.
Oh yeah? No, it'll be
I'm telling you right now, that's the game that circle, they were they were like, we forget them. They said that about Tiffany too.
Pray for him, Effie.
I am. Well, and I told you. I know it's a struggle.
First Budweiser out there.
2 years, quarterback of the senior.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of the Valley, the 2025 Clear Fork High School Marching Band. The band is led on the field by Captain Savannah Mazzola, Peyton Detmer, Austin Van Houten, Clayton Lewis, Chloe Stewart, Sabri Cadillo, and Callie New. The band is sponsored this evening by McGregor Mortgage, Edward Jones, Griffin Jewelers, Wapman Auctioneers, Carpenter's Local 735, Park National Bank, and Stokes Fresh Market. And for tonight's show, the band has prepared some of our rock classics, starting with The Who's iconic 1971 release, Baba O'Reilly.
21. 114.
The band welcomes the 2025 Clear Fork 7th grade, 8th grade, and alumni bands to the field. The combined bands will start with the Wilson Pickett hit from 1966. Here's our rendition of Land of a Thousand Dances. the marching princesses to the field under the direction of Mrs. Terry Shoup for the playing of the official state Ohio rock song, Hang On Sloopy.
I might leave. I may not.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the marching princesses, Clear Fork Middle School Band, the Alumni Band, and your pride of the valley, the 2025 Clear Fork High School Marching Band.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
We carry supplements that are from companies that do a lot of testing. So they will test their raw ingredients. They'll test them afterwards as well. And they're testing for both purity, and then they're also testing for potency. So things like arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease. We have a lot of supplements and also prescriptions we can recommend, and lifestyle type things that can help with that as well.
It's halftime here at the Colt Corral as we welcome you inside of our halftime show presented by Global Energy Partners. 7-3 is your score. All of those points coming pretty early on in the contest. The first 6 minutes of the game, the defense's sense have really taken center stage. I'm Brian Skowronski. Jackson Yoder, our star intern, is joining me now. Very unique game so far. We get a turnover on the very first play of the game, a lot of penalties for Clear Fork after that, and the Colts kept out of the end zone by Ontario despite 3 turnovers by them that set them up in enemy territory. So I think you got to credit each defense so far, even though it's been a little bit of a sloppy game.
It has been a little bit of a sloppy game, but you have to credit the defenses, like you said. It's been a pretty tough setup for both of these defenses here, and it's defensive games. Defense wins championships, and I think this really could show you how good your defense really is when there's not a big score. And as you take a look at the stats, really just not too much besides Clear Fork. Really good, establishment with the rush game. Everything else, just nothing really working for Ontario. 3 interceptions back-to-back drives. And that's probably why they've only been able to score 3 points. Of course, the only reason they had that first field goal was because of that bad snap, first play of the game. So really, it's gonna be a close second half. As we've moved forward, that's what I'm seeing.
Kind of figured that we'd get a tight game in this one. A couple of teams coming in with 2 wins, and Clear Fork perhaps a bit more established with veterans, but we saw all the talent on the other side for Ontario despite being young, but it showed so far early in this game that there's a little bit of a difference between having juniors and seniors as your primary guys and sophomores kind of being the bulk majority of who's on the field.
Yeah. Juniors and seniors, you've got your experience. You know what you're doing. When you're younger out there, maybe you only have more juniors, maybe not as many seniors. It can be tough for a team to really be established. But with 2 wins for both of these 2 teams, you gotta really just appreciate how well they're doing in spite of Ontario having a really young team. And I think they might have a pretty good team moving forward. Of course, they just lost Bob Penn Miller, headed up to the Ohio State, but they're going to have a young team as of right now, but moving forward, they should be pretty good.
See what they have in store for Clear Fork here on the road tonight. They will get the football first to open things up. Jackson, appreciate you spending some time with me here at the half. We'll talk to you after the game.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jackson Yoder, our intern, coming over, catching up with us, breaking down all of the info you need to know. And he mentioned the loss of Bob Penn Miller. Haven't talked about that yet tonight, Effie.
Yeah.
When you're replacing the Division IV Offensive Player of the Year that accumulated 4,200 yards and 41 touchdowns, there's a lot of unanswered questions early in the season. And it showed with some of the happy feet and the not-so-great decision-making from the young quarterback Trey Remy. But definitely, he's got the whole package in terms of size on the arm.
No, you absolutely can see the raw talent in Remy, and that's why I get excited when I watch him play. He's got the size, the arm strength, the effortlessness that he throws with is just exciting. Right now, he's just got to get more reps. He's having trouble seeing the field tonight, and I think you got to give credit to Clear Fork for a lot of that.
On the return, here's a burst to the outside by Trey Fowler. Trey Fowler can really fly. He is off and running to the races all the way back for 6. Trey Fowler with some fireworks here to start off half number 2.
Yeah, you talk about a shot in the arm. Trey Fowler. That was outstanding run back. And, we talked about Oswalt having a gear. Trey Fowler hit a gear on that sideline on this run back, and he saw some open field, and he is gone. There is an angle there, but sorry, bye-bye.
Fowler cooking everybody on the return, and that's a way to bust open an offensive slump right there. Special teams coming through for the Warriors. Kilgore tacking on the PAT, and Ontario back in front now. 1 play here into the second half. And the shiftiness right here, great blocking formulating as well, Effie, but you can tell if this dude can get a crease, 5'7", 140 pounds, but absolute rockets for feet.
Well, and a great job by getting everybody inside. He done a great job, like you said, setting up his blocks, brought everybody to the inside, and then broke it hard back out to the outside, and then just turned on the Jets. And, special teams and turnovers, that's the game right now. That's the game. Big plays, turnovers, penalties, everything but what you would think of the core football game being about. This game has been defined by, turnovers, penalties, and right now, that big play.
Just 11 seconds to burn up about 95 yards.
That wouldn't be a bad 100-meter time. That's not a bad 100-meter time. So
some players just faster when they've got that pigskin in their arms.
Right.
Maybe Trey is one of those cats. So a momentum shift to start off this third quarter. Colts will have an opportunity to respond here. Special teams play of their own. But this is Brokaw just absolutely upended the coverage team. Spectacular. Alex McWhorter coming in for the big hit.
Yeah, a lot of energy right now on that Warrior sideline. And, you know, Clear Fork is going to have to come in and really do a good job with this drive. You know, this is where their experience, and we talked about the experience versus the youth. This is where their experienced players are going to have to settle into this drive, take care of the football, cut out the penalties. We didn't talk about it in the statistics, but Ontario played a clean first half, no penalties. So Clear Fork's going to have to do a better job with taking care of the football and playing a little bit cleaner in terms of the penalties.
First down, it's Schmidt. And he's just been chewed up every time he's tried to run into the teeth of the defense in the middle. Looks like Maddox Smith coming up off the bottom of that pile to help make the stop.
Yeah, and they just had trouble all day with that zone scheme up front where they've just tried to go man on man. Where they've had some successes that power scheme or the perimeter run scheme, but you have to run it. You've got to keep the defense honest.
Try Oswalt to the edge. Devyn cuts back against the grain, somehow keeps his feet and reaching for the first down. Just a spectacular individual effort.
Yeah, this is a good hard run by Devyn. I mean, he gets good contact, he breaks the tackle, and he's wrapped up, but he will not be denied. He is falling forward, doing everything he can to make sure he gets that first down.
Most ball carriers are probably just trudging out towards the sideline at about the 30. Kept his feet in bounds and able to turn in some lemonade right there.
Not necessarily your mindset of a track star out there for Devyn.
Going to try him again. Oswalt left side this time, and he gets whirled down basically right at the line of scrimmage. Carson Moritz in there to break it up, along with Trenton Maglet.
And again, one thing that has been consistent tonight is the Ontario Warrior defensive front has not given ground. You know, they have not given ground. They've given up some plays in the run game, but it's not been because they have given ground up front. They have been stout. They have been strong up front. They have not been given a lot of movement in that front four.
Hoflick able to high step through a couple of would-be tacklers out to the 45-yard line. Pick up 6 here on a second down.
Great job that time by Hoflick, and that time on the quarterback run, that is where you're able to gain an advantage. You get an extra blocker when the Ontario defense has been really stout. You gain an extra blocker by running your quarterback. That time they were able to find some room over the left side for a nice pickup on second down.
Warriors defense looking to get off the field. Hoflick stepping up in the pocket. He's hit, and it forces an overthrow for Quentin Reinhardt. So Ontario defensively, again, getting some pressure up the middle and making things tough on the junior QB.
Yeah, and Hoflick does a good job trying to stay in the pocket, and you know he's thrown some balls that have not been right on target, and you can tell he is, you know, he's putting the ball in some decent areas where they're catchable, but you know his receivers are not, you know, they're not doing a great job of helping out their quarterback tonight. They're not balls that are right on the numbers that they're dropping, but you really want to try to help out your quarterback when he's under duress.
That was touched by the Warriors. Dangerous situation. It makes it back to Gavin Miller. Really just interesting play all the way around with Nash Evans setting up. Strange punt. Let's just unpack this real quick.
That was driven on the ground. Yeah, dangerously touched, like you said, by Cam Powers. Tried to corral it, but it ends up going off of his arm, which could have been disaster for the Warriors.
Works out, though, solid field position. Here on a 1st and 10. Motion a man to the left side, high snap handle. Kilgore sidesteps one defender and then driven into the turf, tackled by Davis Hoflick from the safety spot. Got a flag in the backfield. Appears to be the first of the night against Ontario. They're calling that push in the back on Del Morris. Saw the blitzer come through. Wasn't a ton of contact there, but he did push him. 2 hands right in the numbers on the back of the uniform.
Like you said, first penalty of the night. They've played a really clean game in terms of penalties for the Warriors, but this one sets them back quite a bit. Puts them well behind the sticks here on 1st down.
Referee timeout. As you see Coach Aaron Eckert having a conversation. 30 wins for Aaron since taking over the program back in 2022. Set a program record last year with the 12 victories. And how about 3 straight playoff appearances since he took over the gig? And it's not quite as hard to make the playoffs as it used to be, but previous to that, Effie,
very impressive.
Just 3 playoff appearances overall. Coach Valentine, Scott Valentine, who's at Ashland for the 2nd stint in 2001, was the first. Took him a while then. Scott Krieger in 2010 took him to their 2nd playoff appearance. And then in 2020, Chris Miller, who is now on in a defensive coordinator role in 2020 when everyone made the playoffs, but he still gets that banner. And they had a good year, too.
Right, exactly.
1st and 25. Kilgore, right side. And he just seems to always fall forward. Find a patch of grass that's beyond where he is with the football.
Yeah, good hard running by Kilgore, and again, power scheme up front, and he just gets ran down from the backside. And, you know, with being really far behind the sticks, you've got a quarterback who's thrown for 3 interceptions. It's tough to try to get ahead at this point.
Try to go with the counter look, and they're able to barely get the handoff away, and Kilgore drive in the pile.
Gotta love the effort of this kid. I mean, the contact was made 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I mean,
I don't think Campbell anticipated him getting the football.
He's right there, right.
But here he is just conducting the train, and he's got the 2nd cart, 3rd caboose all on his back and just carrying him out across the 40.
I mean, Ben Campbell is right there. He's there at the mesh point. He could have taken the handoff, and he ended up pushes ahead for a couple yards.
The pair of runs get back 9 of the 10 penalty yards. As Remy going upstairs, one-on-one, underthrown, and it's interception number 4. QB on QB crime with Hoflick bringing it inbounds. At least that's the case he's trying to make. No.
Wow. Now, whether this was an interception or not, this is excellent coverage by Hoflick. I mean, he has struggled a little bit on coverage tonight on these routes, but he does an excellent job of turning, playing, making a play on the football. And I don't know, Brian.
The replay certainly would indicate that he's got 1 and 2 feet down.
I don't know.
Show it to you one more time before this punt.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a really tough break here for Ontario. Or Clear Fork, rather. I'll show you this punt all over again. Not a good one from the right foot of Kilgore. So the Colts will have it 1st down and 10. Coming up near midfield. And just came off the side of his foot. See, hits like a wedge there at midfield. Only a couple of extra yards out of it. So Hoflick in the offense looking to go back to work after what we feel probably should have been an interception and the fourth takeaway by the secondary tonight.
Well, they probably gained some yards.
They definitely did. So it works out in their
yards.
favor. They say ball don't lie
You're
sometimes.
right.
It's one of those sayings that floats around. Schmidt out of the backfield. A mini burst for 3 to start off this drive.
21 Schmidt, the ball carrier for Clearfork. Picking up 4 yards on the play.
And Schmidt has been a workhorse. He has, been the designated inside run ball carrier tonight for the Colts, and he has done a good job of pounding that ball inside. And whether they've been successful inside or not, that's something that you have to do in order to set up the perimeter runs in the passing game. You got to keep running that ball inside.
They'll put it in the hands of Porter again, and he just keeps churning out yardage out across the 40 and into enemy territory for a Mechanics Bank first down in a play that looked like it might not generate much. He just kept stretching it out, found a window, and he broke through the pain.
Yeah, this is a great job of guys staying on their blocks, good downfield blocking. That time, Ben Campbell doing an excellent job with the block on the perimeter. Another flag down.
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct after the play was dead against Ontario. Keeps Clear Fork marching even closer just outside the red zone, now at the 23-yard line. So a big game by Porter Schmidt, and you'll tack on 15 more.
So after a clean first half for Ontario penalties, 2 big ones here in the third quarter.
Colts looking to regain the lead after giving up the first touchdown of the night. Opening kickoff of the second half. Design QB run, and again they put it in the hands of Marcus. And he'll get wrestled down. Maddox Smith able to drive him to the turf from the bottom.
Number 53, Maddox Smith.
Yeah, and I love this play. Power scheme, down blocking on the front side. They pull the backside. And Oswalt even pulled around and lead blocking up front. That is a great scheme, and they run your quarterback to get even an extra blocker for a nice pickup on first down.
Hoflick's been very active in the running attack here tonight. Second leading ball carrier in terms of attempts on the season. As Schmidt keeps his legs roaring, and he's in. Colts respond, and the corral on fire.
Now this is a great job by Schmidt of just keeping his legs pumping. He's got a warrior that's got him wrapped up. As you'll see here, he does a great job of avoiding that initial, but he is wrapped up right here. But he just keeps his legs moving, breaks away, and I think some of the Warriors even slowed down because they thought he was tackled, and he just kept going. Great effort that time by Schmidt, who has been a workhorse tonight. Gets the payoff with the touchdown.
17 yards into the end zone. PAT is up. It is pure. So the Colts fire back after Trey Fowler's touchdown. Carson Moritz can't find the strength to bring him down, and Porter Schmidt puts Clear Fork back on top.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Lighten up the night sky here in the Valley. Porter Schmidt with a touchdown run of 17 yards puts the Colts back in front. Seesaw affair here tonight. 14-10 now the count as we're just past the midway point here of the third quarter. Fun game overall, Effie. We've had some bad decision making, if you will, a little bit of like sloppiness, but it's been tight the entire time, and each team trying to figure a way to kind of put a little bit of pressure or extend some momentum. Just nobody's been able to seize it yet.
Right, and I think this quarter has really shown that drive, at least, has really shown what we thought this game was going to be about, a lot of physicality. And, you know, Clear Fork came with that drive. It was really physical, really brought the physicality to the Warriors on that drive, who to that point has been really playing really stout defensively. But they really, Clear Forks offensively, brought the physicality with that drive. So it'll be interesting to see how Ontario's offense, who hasn't had a whole lot of success on offense, not a lot of yardage. Offensively, they do have the special teams touchdown. They had the field goal off the early turnover, but offensively, they just haven't had a lot of success. So they've got to try to figure something out here offensively against this really stout Colt defense.
Under 40 yards of accumulative offense tonight here for the Warriors. A little bit of trickery, but the ball's on the turf. They tried to pitch it back to Trader on the end around. Kilgore was inside some contact at the time, and this was the end result.
Yeah, and I get it. You know, they just haven't had success with the straight-ahead running game otherwise than Kilgore. And right now, every eye, all 11 eyes on defense are on number 40 in white. So you got to try to do something different if you're going to run the football. Your quarterback is thrown for what we could call 3.5 interceptions. So, you know, if you're going to try to run football, you're trying to do something different. And, you know, that leads in a big loss. So
Colts absolutely just swarm inside the box. Oswalt, along with Campbell, drive down the ball carrier Trey Remy. And the Colts kind of had a beat on that one to tell that there was no way that was going up in the air. Look at all the men in the box.
Yeah. Now, and even though that's that play didn't have success, you know, that is something I think the Colts are going to have to, you know, maybe look at, and not necessarily just a straight ahead run, but maybe giving Remy some more run pass options, getting him outside the pocket. He is certainly a capable runner, but you know, that time that was more of the wildcat type of look. But they've got to figure out a way to run the football against this Clear Fork defense.
This one overshot by about 5 yards. There was contact, and again, they're targeting Hoflick out there in coverage. Grady Muncie looking over to the referee for a flag. They've got a couple on this situation, but not this time.
Yeah. And that one, you know, and I think at halftime when they went in, you know, that throw was a throw of a quarterback who's been told to keep the ball out of harm's way. You know, so if you're going to miss long. And you know, which is, you know, that's good coaching. You know, because they have guys that have been open deep, he's kind of underthrown the ball. So right now he's throwing the ball a little long if they're trying to get the big play. But nothing has really worked for them offensively so far tonight, and they had to punt it away again.
Pretty good punt from Kooper Kilgore. Switching the field. Colts coming off of a touchdown drive. Porter Schmidt getting into the end zone for the first time this season. Strong 17-yard run to put him over the top, 14-10. As we're 3 minutes, 28 seconds remaining here in quarter number 3. And a bunch of conversation going on out there on our live chat now. So I do want to say hello to Zane Brown watching from Mansfield. James Mahon just saying, what up? Ontario's defense, top tier. Too bad they haven't been getting a minute of rest, says Brandon Stone, and that's a pretty good point.
Absolutely.
And we'll see if that wears on them a bit here in the second half now with Clear Fork coming off of the scoring drive. Not on this play. Big stick. That was Carson Moritz who allowed Schmidt to break through for the touchdown on the last play. Defensively, they were out on the field and making up for it right here.
Yeah, and Moritz has done a really good job. He tracks the running back that time and makes sure Schmidt was not going to get any positive yardage. He goes untouched and makes good contact at the line of scrimmage.
Evans dead to rights right at the line. On the ground again through the middle. Bursting through the hole goes Schmidt. And he's got a 13-yard carry for Mechanics Bank. First down.
Number 8, Brady Rowe finally bringing him down, but give the Colts first down.
And again, good job at the point of attack and blocking up front. The trap scheme was really solid that time by Clear Fork Colts, and Schmidt that time just found a crease. And I think, like you said, Brian, I think the Clear Fork offensive line is really starting to lean now on that Warrior offense, that Warrior defensive line, because those little, small, short runs are getting a little bit more yardage inside, where those runs were getting stuffed early in the first half. You know, there's a little bit of space now. Those same runs are getting a little bit more space here in the second half.
6 more right here on a first down carry. Maddox Smith, the sophomore, coming down off of his defensive end spot. Swing down the ball carrier, Porter Schmidt. As the clock down to about 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Colts continue with the running game. And Schmidt is the man in the backfield. Have not gone much to Braden Hayes tonight, who's off to a great start to his sophomore year. So Schmidt perhaps earning a true leading role this last couple of weeks in practice.
Well, Schmidt has been a workhorse tonight. He has, really had success. Really, he's like we talked about, the workhorse. 13 carries tonight. He has done it all: off tackle, outside runs, a lot of inside runs for him. He's really established the running game for the Colts. He, along with Colt Hoflick, the quarterback.
What a nice move. Cutting back and picking up the first down is Marcus Hoflick. So he continues to showcase his wheels.
Yeah, that's just great running.
Whew. Like that last move.
That's just great running because there's guys that are unblocked that just didn't even get a finger on him. That is just great running.
How many carries for Hoflick tonight?
Right now Hoflick is sitting at, that is run number 12 for him tonight, and that is a heavy load for your quarterback and also your starting corner defensively. That is a heavy load.
4-yard spurt here on what should be the last play of the third quarter, even though you can't see the seconds on our clock. And again, we apologize for that. The new scoreboard, the poll, we've been over this the first couple of weeks, guys. But that is how the third quarter is going to end with Clear Fork. Slim margin, they lead at 14-10. They've got the football, though, second down coming up. We'll see you on the other side at Money Time.
We carry supplements that are from companies that do a lot of testing. So they will test their raw ingredients. They'll test them afterwards as well. And they're testing for both purity, and then they're also testing for potency. So things like arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease. We have a lot of supplements and also prescriptions we can recommend, and lifestyle type things that can help with that as well.
Fourth quarter action has arrived here in the Valley. Richland County showdown going down. Ontario somehow still in this game. They got about 40 yards of offense, Effie, but they're just down a score.
Well, nothing like a special teams touchdown and really good defense by the Warriors in the first half have kept them around.
Shake, rattle, and roll. Hopefully again, Marcus being featured in the running attack here tonight. First 3 weeks of the season, 25 carries. He's approaching that here if he keeps up this pace.
Yeah, he is rolling, doing a great job avoiding tacklers, and he is a walking first down. I mean, every other time he touches it, he makes sure to move the sticks. And great job by Clear Fork understanding what's working They are alternating, utilizing Schmidt for the power run game and then offsetting that with Hoflick on the read. And they really, right now, have got the Warrior defense off balance.
Morris makes a nice open field tackle right here and just an absolute laser through the hole. Marcus for a pickup of 5, and early in the game, Ontario really did a fantastic job on first and second down in the running attack, and you see in the second half the Colts, they're finding a bit of momentum now and attacking there in the trenches.
Well, and I think the adjustment that was made was just to utilize Hoflick even more in the running. There's a ball on the ground, and that could be huge. That could be huge if that is a turnover. They got it.
The Warriors out of the pile. Alex McWhorter's got the football. The second lost fumble of the game for the Clear Fork Colts. And a team that has basically done nothing on offense just got the football back and a chance to drive down and take the lead on the road.
Unexplainable. Unexplainable. Just and that's the thing. When you're running the read option, so many things are done blindly. And the ball handling is so critical. And that time you saw Hoflick trying to do ball handling without looking. The running back isn't looking. The ball hits him in the shoulder, and it comes loose.
I think my man Mitchell Ye out in the comment section said it best about the Colts. Going into the fourth quarter, let's go. After that play, bruh. What is going on?
Oh, my.
So, brand new possession here for the Warriors. Kilgore, he's like a magnet right now. Colts are gravitating towards him, and they understand the struggles that we've seen from Trey Remy and perhaps the reluctance to put the football in the air right now. So 7-8 men in the box, that's starting to become the regular.
Well, there's a new running back in, looks like, number 45.
Allison Walker. Rowan Lang.
Yeah, we got Max Soroli's out there.
Yeah.
Soroli, 30 carries, 209 yards coming into tonight, and a nice YPC, about 7 per clip. Remy going to follow up in behind him, right side, and he lowers his shoulder into Trey Sellers for a decent pickup. Officials put a flag down on the turf in the backfield. Likely going to negate this run. And again, get the Ontario offense back behind the sticks. But instead, it's going to be holding on the defense.
Wow.
When have you ever seen that on a running play?
That's a different call. Every so often you'll see it on the defense.
See if we can identify it. Yeah. So typically defenders not looking to hang on to an offensive player. Must have not been pictured.
Yeah, you don't generally see that on a defensive player because defenders are allowed to grab. At least on the interior, they're allowed to grab on those runs. They're allowed to grab. So that's a tough call.
Really slow this down for you guys.
Ooh.
Got me.
Yeah.
And they got the Colts for 10 yards and a first down. Kilgore back in the game. He lost it up in the air, and it is going to be recovered by the Colts. Actually, that was Soroli again, excuse me. And they return the favor. Ben Campbell, good. Getting possession back for Clear Fork here at home.
Wow.
Stunning.
Wow. Huge missed opportunity for Ontario, but you got to give the credit to the Colts who stayed in it. Big hit. That wasn't just an unforced error. That is a big hit.
Davis Hoflick from the safety spot. Likably bigger now in his junior campaign, listed at 170. Delivering a little bit of pain. Almost. Another fumble on the mesh. Schmidt and Hoflick cascading gasps of air through the Clear Fork side of the home stands here on this latest first down play, but it turns out to be a 3-yard pickup. So living a bit dangerously are the Colts here. After the big fumble produced by Hoflick, Campbell recovers.
Well, and I think going in this fourth quarter, Coach Brokaw is he's fine with power run, running this quarterback, ball control, running the clock. And as long as he can take care of the football, I think he's fine with that.
Marcus Hoflick again showcasing his strength. See, he's able to just squirm through, gets through an arm tackle, keeps going, whirling, back drive. 5 players in white uniforms all have to converge into the scrum to eventually drag down the QB, who has played nails tough here tonight. Offensive, defensive, it's been out there a whole bunch. Now it's a 3rd down and 1. They'll hand it off to Hayes.
I don't think he got it.
Ripped down almost immediately with Trenton Maglet bursting in. That's going to be 4th down. We've got a Colt down on the field. And with the mark, it is a full yard shy.
Yeah, that is a great job. Once again, Trenton Maglet, who has had a really good game tonight. He has made a number of plays at or behind the line of scrimmage tonight. And once again, he makes the play behind the line of scrimmage, bringing up this a big 4th down as Colts have a player down. But this brings up a big 4th down here. And Brian, a 4-point game in a game where the Warriors haven't been able to muster a lot of offense. Their defense primarily has kept them in it, along with some Clear Fork mistakes. Warriors 5 turnovers tonight.
Not a healthy amount.
So, but on the flip side, Clear Fork 6 huge penalties that always seem to have really cost them. So I wouldn't call it a sloppy game, but just a game that has been, those turnovers and those penalties have cost each side. But really competitive, though. I really give it to both teams. They are really playing hard out there. Just some mistakes have really cost both sides, but they are really competing. But nonetheless, we have got a tight ball game and a 1-possession game. So right now, as poorly as the offense is playing for Ontario, they're a stop away and a big play away from walking out of here with a W. You know what I mean? They get a big play, and nobody else scores. They walk out with a W and 5 turnovers.
Yeah, this would be absolutely stealing a game
Right.
on the road.
Right.
Now that we've got the benefit of hindsight, all
Right.
the information, let's
Right.
check out our keys to victory tonight, see how spot on we were for the Warriors. And for me, Effie, I felt like they just had to match the Colts' physicality. Where Ontario has a lot of veterans is up front. We just saw Trenton Maglet, the senior, make a big impact play. And for the most part, I think that they have risen to the occasion there.
Yeah, I agree. They've done a good job of being physical, especially up front. They have done a really good job with that. I felt like Ontario had to get off to a fast start here, especially on the road. This environment can be tough. They brought a good crowd. This crowd we knew was going to be supportive. This is a terrific environment. So I thought they would have to get off to a fast start. They were
First 3 points.
They were able to cause a big turnover. They were able to get on the board early. I don't think they, offensively they've struggled, but they have been in this game. They've just made some errors and just not been able to get going offensively.
And on the other side of the coin for the home team to march on to their 3rd victory, some explosive plays. We saw it out of the gates. Oswalt, 48-yard touchdown, and then Schmidt, the 17-yarder, able to break loose. But the sous chef, outside of that one big carry, Ontario's done a better job of at least bottling him up and not allowing him to just gouge them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because I think the other two guys, Schmidt and Hoflick, have really found something feeding off each other, playing off each other offensively.
Unfortunate news for Colts fans. Evan Hamilton, their first team all MOAC selection from a season ago, and really just the heartbeat for the Colts on the interior as this makes its way into the end zone for a touchback. He was not able to put much weight at all on his right leg as he was taken over to the sideline, so we'll see how long big number 77, 6'4", 305-pounder is out of the lineup tonight for the Colts. So one more look at that punt on our OhioHealth instant replay, and all of our instant replays here at the Colt Corral for football this season brought to you by the health specialists of OhioHealth. You wouldn't believe it by looking at the numbers,
Right.
but Ontario, one solid drive away from just stunning this Colt crowd here tonight. This is Kilgore back into the mix, and he'll fight for maybe a yard and nothing more.
Yeah, and I think this is obviously an important drive here, and as we get into the fourth quarter and trying to get Kilgore established, and I think they gave him that last drive off so he can be a little bit fresh down the stretch because they know they're going to need him, especially if this remains a one-score game. They're going to need him to be fresh down the stretch for this offense.
Going to feature him back-to-back carries. Gets leveled down low, flipped over the 25-yard line. So the Warriors will still need 5 more yards here to pick up a first down.
Once again, Kilgore is not able to be brought down by that first contact and falls forward, gets a nice gain, bringing up 3rd and 5.
Remy hasn't attempted a pass in a while. See if they let him unleash one here instead. Again, on the ground. Colts converge. They make the stop about a yard shy.
And I tell you, Brian, that comes up short. But I like the call. Your defense is playing well, has been playing well. You would love to get them a break here. You wanted to get a first down because they've been playing so well. Try to get them a break. But, your quarterback is just not seeing the field well tonight. Sometimes you just have to see that. So you don't want to put the ball in harm's way. So you try to punt it away.
Fair catch called for and made by Jacob Brokaw. Colts back with the football, 1st and 10, 5 minutes, 33 seconds remaining. Street fair here in town. A lot of excitement around the community here in the Valley this entire week. And it all kind of culminates with this football game, and it can set you off in 2 different ways, Effie, when they start spilling back into the carnival and that action and making their way through the causeway. Are you a hero tonight when you're walking around with that Clear Fork uniform on?
Right.
Or maybe they have some suggestions for some of the old patrons.
It could be one or the other. Or you're going to avoid it altogether.
That's fair, too. Hoflick, with the flag coming in, has about 6 or 7 yards to start off the drive. This appears to be in the area of holding.
It's interesting to see both offenses because I thought, even on that last drive for Ontario, who is down in this game, I thought they were playing ball control. I was watching them run the play clock down a little bit to try to shrink the game. And Clear Fork is doing that as well as they mark off the penalty. Yet another penalty against the Colts. They're 7th on the night.
Both of these teams, when they're going to review the film coming up tomorrow morning, I think are going to feel not great about the performance, but there's just such a thin line between joy and pain, and somebody's going to be real happy with the result tonight.
Absolutely.
The other might be dwelling a bit. 1st and long, 20 yards needed now, end around. This is Brokaw, And that's just a great job by Brady Rowe with a little extra after the play. And right as I'm complimenting him, picks up a 15-yard dumb penalty.
That's tough. That's just a tough call. And
the whistle's blown here. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Won the lot.
That's a tough one. And, you know, this is a highly contested game. You know, both teams are really playing hard. We have seen a lot worse, and that is a tough call. And I know officials, you want the game to be clean. You don't want any unsportsmanlike or unnecessary penalties or plays to happen. You want the kids to be safe, but whoa. That's a tough one.
Got an update coming in from Shelby. First place battle between the Whippets and the 3-0 Galleon Tigers. And it looks like start of the fourth quarter, they're all square at 28 each.
Whoa. How about that?
It was a tie game at halftime. The two top contenders we all perceive in the MOAC, and they're playing like it. A lot of folks thought that maybe Shelby was in a different galaxy this season.
Right.
The #1 team in the state, the first coaches poll came out this week. #1 in Division 4.
Yeah.
Tigers looking to take them to the brink, as is Ontario here on the road. 2nd down and 5. They're going to put it up through the air. Hoflick sidesteps, puts it up deep, way underthrown. Trey Fowler underneath it. The kick return to start the third, and now he's got the big takeaway. My, oh my.
Wow. I'm shocked by that. Shocked by that. But that is a big play by Trey Fowler. You know, does a great job tracking this ball. Great coverage. Makes the play and puts his team in really good position with just over 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. But now Ontario has got to get something going here offensively.
They're going to go empty here. 4 wideouts to the left. And look at this. Really quick flag came in. Sellers bursted into the picture and was able to drive back Grady Muncie immediately. Maybe a legal formation?
Face mask.
And if you can hear overhead, the entire press box almost came undone.
Somebody doesn't like it up there.
Colts coaches are directly above us. So the quick throw.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have a great angle of it coming from up here. Evidently, Sellers must have had a big chunk of the face mask. Boy, I'm not sure what's going on now.
Oh, they call it on offense.
So the coaching staff above us, they just took back the big foot stomps. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of the blockers, one of the wideouts. Two flags came in, so evidently a pair of officials saw something. And this is exactly what you don't want for your sophomore signal caller. Been struggling tonight. Whole bevy of turnovers. Now he just gets murdered just outside of the end zone. Nate Wine cracks him in his mouth guard, but the ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want in this case, a obvious passing situation, and then take a clean hit. Right now, you can't have that. When teams know you're going to pass, you don't want your quarterback to take a clean shot here.
Remy rolling this side. He's just going to throw it away, running for his life. Oswalt in the picture, Campbell as well. And that has been a regular occurrence here in this second half. Colts have been teeing off, bringing heat, pressure from each side. This time it's just discipline Campbell from one side and obviously Oswalt with the speed from the near side to put the pressure on.
So difficult when you're this far behind the sticks. What you'd like to be able to do is get the ball, especially with your quarterback struggling the way he is, get the ball to some of your playmakers in space on a short throw, which was what they tried to do on first down. But the Colt defense was so good, they snuffed that out immediately. So this is a tough call for Ontario.
What a catch! Corday Brown on the fly. All the way out to the 50, a 43-yard strike off the fingertips. Didn't look like he was going to be able to bring it in. But this kid threw it into fifth gear, the acceleration at the end, Effie.
Look at the catch. Well, we know the arm strength is there. That is an outstanding catch by Corday Brown.
See if the momentum changes now. The Warriors starting to push the pile a bit. Couple of yards, but the ball's loose.
Oh, my.
Colts have it.
Oh, my.
Luke Remy coming out of the pile. And the seesaw affair continues to deliver.
I haven't seen the official call yet.
Referees, I think, have determined it will be Colt football. Let's wait for an official determination.
There it is.
All right. Not surprising the way that this game has been unraveling. This is Kilgore trying to keep his momentum going, and the ball clearly skirts out the back. Right place, right time, and Remy, the sophomore, coming up with turnover number 6.
Six.
Who wants to win tonight? It's up for grabs.
It's up for grabs, for sure. For sure.
Whole flick near side. It's going to be scraped out wide by Curry. He's been awesome so far tonight. And I think Ontario is going to burn their first time out here in the second half. They will. Trader in on the stop. Just trying to string them out wide. And again, there's Curry, a couple of blocks. He's able to shift off of one. The Warriors with the stop somehow. Wow.
Yeah, and, Hoflick tries to get on the perimeter, and Ontario has done a much better job of protecting those perimeter runs, and their safeties and linebackers have really done a better job of protecting the edge, getting to the outside, forcing everything back inside, where their inside pursuit can take away the run. So that they've done just a much better job overall defensively of stopping this Clear Fork attack. So, like you said, this game is up for grabs. Both teams are executing defensively very well. It's just a series of turnovers, penalties, and
things you don't want to talk about in the film session.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. When you have a opportunity, Ontario has a huge big play. That was their biggest opportunity of the night. You follow it up with a turnover. And now Clear Fork now has a real opportunity to close this game out, put this game away, either by clock management or putting more points on the board.
Hoflick somehow keeps his feet, and he levels ahead for a ginormous first down. So they'll be able to eat up some more clock. And a little Houdini act here. Davis Hoflick.
Wow, another flag.
Looked like he was going to get stopped right here, Effie. Just powered through, but missed the hanky on the field. It's going to wipe it out.
Yeah. And penalty number 9 for Clear Fork, and that is a outstanding run by Hoflick, who has tonight turned into a power runner. I mean, he is a power runner tonight. He has run through tackles, taken on defenders. He has done it all. 17 carries tonight for the quarterback.
He's been special, and they're going to call his number again. Here's 2. Not enough breathing room this time. Miller able to submerge down low, get a piece of the lower body to make it a 3rd down and long. Warriors going to hang on to their timeouts now with the clock at 3:11 and counting.
Well, as you can see right now, they can manage their way. They can clock manage their way to this win or score, but this is a big 3rd down. That penalty really hurts, putting them behind the sticks. But the way they've been running the football, they can pick up this 1st down.
They're going to need 19. Here's Evans, just checked in. And off the jet sweep, Warriors ready for it again. Guy Trader making an impact. And this Warriors linebacker unit and Swift secondary, they've been up to the challenge more often than not on these running plays.
Yeah, Guy Trader is coming up really aggressively. They have all but abandoned their secondary duties, and they are coming up really hard in run defense. So right now, the Warriors, just over 2 minutes to play. Opportunity to get this football back. But offensively, if I'm Coach Eckert, I am thinking right now, listen, it's not so much about throwing the ball down the field. It's not so much about big plays. We just got to sustain a drive. So whether that is Kilgore on the run, mix in the quarterback run, you just can't put yourself behind the sticks. That is the important thing for the Ontario offense right now. They haven't been able to pull together positive play after positive play. If they can do that, I think they can string together a couple 1st downs. They just have not been able to do that offensively. This game even. I was going to say this half, but they haven't been able to do that this game.
The good news for Ontario fans, as they nearly blocked that one and almost had another great piece of news. Trader scoops it up. Taken out of bounds, but I was going to say Trey Remy coming off of maybe his best throw of the night.
Right.
Big 40-plus yarder to get him out near midfield before the fumble and the 6th giveaway with Kooper Kilgore putting it down on the carpet. But maybe that's something to build off of.
Sure.
And to quote the great Zach Bryan, sometimes you just got to let it be and let it go.
Right.
So it's been a trash night.
It has.
So what? You can go steal this thing on the road right now.
Absolutely. 2 minutes to go. You've got a quarterback that is a talent. No question about it. And he is an athlete. You've got a solid running back. You've got playmakers. Put all that behind you, what has happened in this game. Everything goes into this drive right now.
Head and shoulders fake, looking to tuck and run. Nowhere to go, driven into the turf by Schlosser. Linebacker unit has been the superlative in this 2nd half for Clear Fork.
And that's a tough one to take on 1st down. But again, they took away that first option and just nowhere to go for Remy after that. And again, another play in the backfield.
Nate Wine beat his offensive weapon and obviously getting some help from Oswalt and company. And Clear Fork actually is going to spend a timeout here. Very interesting with $1:45 to go. I think that they must have way more fireworks here on hand tonight, Effie. They're going to be disappointed if they go home with a whole box that didn't get blown up for no reason.
Yes, that is an interesting call.
Let's see what the people are talking about out there. Grant Spencer doesn't really enjoy the referees so far here tonight. Lisa Remy, just with a big heart. Mikey Brown, hey, what's up, man? I talked to him this morning. Was sick. He normally films the game for Clear Fork. He's not here. Glad he can be watching live and free along with 524 of his other friends. Brad Sharp watching his son Jonah as he recuperates at the Akron Children's PCU. Oh, man. Well, much love sending out to you guys.
For sure.
And James Mahon as well, part of the 12-win team that went to the regional championship game, just says, what's going on, OH.REPORT? What's up, James? Let's see if Baby Bro can make a big play here. We haven't called John's name much. He's got single one-on-one coverage right here on a 2nd and 15. So they drive that one, and a nice catch. Carde Brown now with back-to-back, and wow. A late flag is likely going to turn this into a first down. Can you believe it? Look at this at the end of the play. Oh, it is 1 foot on the chalk. That's pretty dicey. Effie just says, sigh.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I'll tell you this, still a minute 45 to go.
Right.
The Warriors, they're only around 100 yards of offense tonight.
Right. Yes.
They can pull off the ultimate victory here. Pressure coming, the throw, and Brown again!
Wow.
Carde, can you believe it? Not targeted at all until these last 2 drives. Now number 12, 3 consecutive receptions.
Wow.
Climbing the ladder there. That was on the
catch.
3rd story.
That's nice. That's nice. That is a nice catch.
Take the snap here, Remy. Rolling near side. He'll load up. Tipped. Grady Muncie saying he brought it in. If he did, it's a 3-yard gain, but the clock will spin. It is 1:17. 2nd and 7. 2-minute drill in full motion here for the Warriors. Colts bringing the house. Quick throw. Trader. Guy Trader to the outside. Still in bounds. They'll say that he's marked out, but he's got a first down right outside the red zone, and all of a sudden the Warriors, like Frankenstein, just coming to life.
How about that? Nice short out. Guy Trader with the moves, shakes 2, 3 Clear Fork defenders, goes by untouched for the extra yards, picks up another first down. Warriors in the red zone.
Clock at 54 seconds.
Yeah.
Colts want to talk things over. It's their second charge timeout, and now you really start questioning that TO call by Clear Fork, the first one.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about, but what I know is when you got a talented quarterback that was out of sorts. Now what you have is a quarterback that has completed a couple balls, who now looks to me to be in some kind of rhythm. Coach Eckert has done a great job of giving him some short throws that he's completed now 4 in a row. 4 balls in a row. Now your quarterback has got confidence. So now you're in the red zone. You got a quarterback that is now all of a sudden, and I can tell you as a quarterback, once you're able to, no matter how long you haven't been able to see the field, once you're able to see the field, now you can see everything. So now it's about making plays. And that doesn't mean he has to throw the rest of the game, but it does mean that things are now open. More things are open than they were before. So it opens up things for this Ontario offense. And now they got time. They don't have to throw every down now if they don't want to.
54 seconds on the clock from the 20. They'll fake to Kilgore. They'll set it up out of the backfield. Trader. Another nice run after the catch. Guy Trader with a gain of 9. Showing a lot of wiggle here at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Official's going to stop things. I didn't see either coach call a timeout.
Oh, no. He thought he called a timeout. When the officials thought he was called timeout, he was making a signal to the players, and the official thought it was a timeout. The Clear Fork coaches were calling it a defensive signal.
So the clock spins, 30 seconds to go. Has to be a false start. Instead, it's a touchdown catch.
And there's a flag.
John Mahon just called his name. Big Bro, watch it out there live and free. The Warriors motioned in a player off the bench late.
Yeah. Yeah, they did have a young man running in as the ball was snapped.
And instead, a flag that I didn't even see in the end zone, and they'll get John Mahon with the push-off. How can you write a script this wild?
Well, you'll see an Ontario player running in at the last minute. They're going to call a push-off, which but here we are, second and long.
Insane ending. Remy going for it all again. And this time overshooting the intended target to the back of the end zone. Bring up third down. Warriors will still have 2 more cracks at it. Plenty of time, 13 ticks on the clock.
Yeah, right now just trying to give his receivers an opportunity to make a play. And then the receivers have shown in this drive they will make a play.
Carday's been the big play threat all season long for him, averaging 25 yards per clip coming into tonight. A couple of tutties. So look for number 12, who's locked up one-on-one at the top of your screen with Nash Evans. Likely to get a look here. 3rd and 17, they'll roll opposite side. Remy to the end zone. Mahon can't undercut it. It's picked off by Sellers. 7th giveaway tonight by the Ontario offense. And I would say that will do it, but on a night like tonight, I'm just not sure.
Right. And, in that situation, the advantage is such, it goes to the defense so many times. They know you're going to throw it. The secondary is all over the receiver. 3 guys there, and credit to the Colts defense, though. They still have to make the play. Big-time play.
They do have to burn up 6 more seconds as you see Ontario fans starting to make their way towards the exit. Oh, how close they were to absolutely stealing one here on the road. And the Colts going to use their final timeout. Just an absolute crazy story here tonight. The way these two teams have battled back and forth, and it hasn't always been the prettiest football, but I'm certainly very entertained.
Well, and I will tell you, it has been, and when everyone looks at it, both teams, even the officials, when they look at it, they're all going to say, man, I could have done some things better tonight. But I will tell you that this game, there's a lot of teachable moments, but I can say all these young men have played hard all night. They have played tough. They played hard. They've given what they have all night, and both teams should be proud.
Clearfork just has to nail it down. They'll fall forward. Warriors are out of timeouts, and somehow, some way, Clearfork gets it done here at home. 14-10. They knock off Ontario in a game that came down to the very final drive. A lot of pressure on Clearfork, but in front of the Stampede, they take it away yet again. Game-winning INT by Brokaw sends Clearfork to 3-1, 1-0 in the MOAC. Whew. We're going to catch our breath. We'll be back. We're going to talk to the game MVP. Hit me up in the comments section. Give me some ideas who you'd like to see come up here and join me for a post-game conversation. We'll have that, plus final stats, and wrap things up with our thoughts. And there's going to be a lot of them on tonight's game coming up on the other side of a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back live and free.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
This is our in-body machine, so you're going to see what you're made of, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, what type of fat, where is the muscle, where is the fat, and then also super important, how much water do you have and where is the water? Is it inside of your cell or outside of your cell? So the in-body is a super quick process. You get all of this information in about 5 minutes. You just stand on the scale, you hold on to some handles, it sends electrical impulses through your body, nothing you feel, and this prints out immediately. So you'll leave with a piece of paper with all of your results on it, and it will also send it to your phone. We also spend a couple minutes helping you interpret your results so that you can learn what they mean. So you'll leave with a lot of information. It only costs $40. You can get online and sign up for an appointment, or you can call in and make an appointment today.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report. Tonight's wild game in the Valley brought to you 100% live and free thanks to our friends at the Wellspring Custom Pharmacy and Health Source, where they help you choose effective vitamins, supplements. They can even prepare custom meds for you as prescribed by your healthcare provider or even the veterinarian. So if you've got any ailment or your pet too, bring them down to West 4th Street in Ontario and let Stephanie Lane fix you up. OhioHealth. As the area's leading healthcare provider, OhioHealth is investing in a stronger, healthier community. Learn more at ohiohealth.com/Mansfield. Your player of the game, who's making his way up here, is brought to you by Schmidt Security Pro. From the field to your front door, trust Schmidt Security Pro to protect what matters most. Tonight's broadcast also presented by Buckeye Horizon Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your local Trane comfort specialist. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Charter Next Generation, who's hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. And Sutton Bank. Earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. And your post-game coverage tonight will be presented by Global Energy Partners, helping communities with exceptional work while utilizing local businesses. We're going to hear from the winning quarterback. Marcus Hoflick had a career night in terms of rushing, played a lot of defense as well. So we'll have the junior coming up here into the box. You'll hear from him in just a couple of minutes. Stay right there. Back now with your player of the game, presented by Schmidt Security Pro, Marcus Hoflick. What a battle this was, down to the final whistle. It wasn't the greatest looking game in terms of offenses, but very gritty, I think, on both sides. So to pull it out at the end, to make the plays necessary and get the victory, and especially with the ending right in front of the Stampede, just talk to me about your satisfaction of being 3-1.
Yeah, we got it done. It might not have been as nice as we wanted it to, but our defense played a heck of a job. I mean, what was it, 4 picks, fumbles all over the place. I mean, it was turnovers all over the place. I wish our offense would have turned them into scores, but, you know, it is what it is, and we got the win.
Career night for you in terms of being a ball carrier. 17 times you called your own number, over 80 yards here as a rusher tonight. So how much of a part of the game plan was that coming in versus kind of adjustments on the fly?
Yeah, so I would say it's kind of a game plan. I mean, I'm always a pretty elusive runner. I can break tackles, make people miss. But Schmidt and Hayes, they're also part of the run game. And with our linemen going down, I still think we did a heck of a job running the ball. A freshman and a sophomore had to come in for 2 of our seniors, and they did a heck of a job.
This is a rivalry game, of course, and they've got you each of the last 3 times that you've showed down with them, including the playoffs last season. So to start a new trend in the history books and take down the Warriors, just how special is this to get the win here at home?
Yeah, it felt good. It's going to feel even better next week against Pleasant.
No question about it. It's just a special environment all the way around here tonight. You got the World's Fair in town, the street fair is going down. So if you can just give me some perspective as a player, the atmosphere, obviously both sides were absolutely packed, and just being out there in a game that comes down to basically the final gun.
Yeah, the whole town's packed, especially during fair. We try and have our players not get too distracted, and we're all locked in. And we say celebrate it Friday night, Saturday morning. Don't do stupid stuff during the week, you know. Lock in on the game.
Well, you get the game ball tonight. Get to ring the victory bell. So congratulations for being our Schmidt Security Pro MVP. Who would you like to shout out for your victorious performance?
Shout out my defense. Me, as long I was on there too, but they did a heck of a job. I mean, so many turnovers caused, and I don't know how many yards of offense they had, but it couldn't have been that much. I mean, they only had that kick return touchdown, so I mean, our defense was on lock.
All right, brother. Appreciate the time. Congratulations on the 3-1 start. We'll see you next week against Pleasant.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
This is our in-body machine, so you're gonna see what you're made of, how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, what type of fat, where is the muscle, where is the fat, and then also super important, how much water do you have and where is the water? Is it inside of your cell or outside of your cell? So the in-body is a super quick process. You get all of this information in about 5 minutes. You just stand on the scale, you hold on to some handles, it sends electrical impulses through your body, nothing you feel, and this prints out immediately. So you'll leave with a piece of paper with all of your results on it, and it will also send it to your phone. We also spend a couple minutes helping you interpret your results so that you can learn what they mean. So you'll leave with a lot of information. It only costs $40. You can get online and sign up for an appointment, or you can call in and make an appointment today.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report. It's your post-game coverage presented by Global Energy Partners. Wow, a lot to talk about here tonight at the Corral. Clear Fork escaping with a 14-10 victory over Ontario in a game that both teams just never really seized control of the action. I'm Brian Skowronski. This is Jackson Yoder. And my goodness, man, it felt like there was a couple of decisions made at the end of the game, and Ontario made enough plays that they were going to snatch this one right out of the paws of defeat. And then it boils down to Clear Fork making a play at the end. 7 giveaways tonight for the Warriors. So wasn't the greatest looking football game, but for Clear Fork coming out on top, I think that this is a victory that they're going to at least be satisfied with. Gutting it out, getting it done.
Oh, for sure. They're definitely going to be satisfied with this win here. I mean, I honestly thought they were going to kind of blow it there in the last little bit there. They just, Ontario just started clicking with that 50-yard pass down there near their own end zone, and then just started clicking and started to go down the field. But luckily for that Clear Fork defense, really just held up and didn't allow anything to happen with that interception there in the end. And Clear Fork, they're going to be happy with this win.
Yeah, 7 takeaways here tonight. We'll show you the final numbers of the game presented by GEP. And offense at a premium tonight. The Colts do rack up right around 250. No passing yards, though, in the second half. And Marcus Hoflick only actually completed 2 balls in this game. The big numbers, the 70 penalty yards, all came in the second half for Ontario. But 100 yards given away by the Colts, too. That was a bulk majority of Ontario's first downs in the game, and they only had 8 of them. It was just one of those games. It was a battle of will to the very end, Jackson, and just very razor thin in terms of what decided this one.
Yeah, but those penalties, those yardage of the penalties, 70 for Ontario, 80 for the Colts. And penalty yards, man, that is a real decider when it comes down to that many yards. And for Clear Fork, kind of good established run game, pretty much all game. Like you said, the pass didn't really work, but Marcus Hoflich, man, he just kept on calling his number throughout the night and getting it done offensively. And for Clear Fork moving forward, it's going to be a nice party tonight in the Clear Fork Valley.
Yeah, you heard it from Marcus. He was like, "You'll catch me out on the streets tonight at the World's Fair." So they're going to enjoy this one, and he said they're supposed to. After you ring the victory bell Friday nights into Saturday mornings, you keep that smile on your face. You remember the good times, and then you start looking forward, spinning it ahead, and talking about the rest of the season. And coming up next for them is Pleasant, a very winnable game for Clear Fork, and a chance to really stay right there in position in the MOAC. Could get to 4-1.
Yeah, I was actually at the Clear Fork Pleasant game last year, and Clear Fork did lose that one in a close one, but maybe they can change the tides and maybe get one done next week, but we'll have to find out how that one all goes down next week.
All right, appreciate the time, Emperor.
Appreciate it.
We'll bring Effie James back in here for kind of the final word on this showdown here tonight, as we do start looking ahead. And for Clear Fork, it's going to be heading on the road out to Marion, taking on Pleasant. And for the Warriors, back home against Galleon, who we just heard they lost by 9 points on the road at Shelby tonight, a game where they went toe-to-toe with the Whippets up until the final couple of possessions. But if you're each coaching staff, what do you really take away from this one? If you're Clear Fork, you get the results.
Right.
And then for Ontario, I'm not sure. I'm very curious to get your perspective.
Well, first let's start with Clear Fork.
Sure.
If I'm Clear Fork, I am happy as a coach. I am literally overjoyed. I'm going to have the time of my life at the fair because I get what I wanted. I get the win. But I also get a chance to teach my kids a lesson with a win. So I get to do all the things that I would normally have to do with a loss, but I get the win. You know what I mean? So I get to get in film. I need to get all over my kids about all the things they've done wrong, but I don't have to suffer a loss to do it. So as a coach, that is a great teachable moment, but I don't have to lose the game in order to do, because to be honest, Clear Fork done what they needed to do to lose tonight.
Yes,
if that
did.
makes sense.
Of course.
They've done everything they needed to do to lose the game tonight, but they end up coming up with the win. If I'm Ontario, I am I'm disappointed because we had opportunities, and it is about growth, and they have a lot of youth on this team. But at this point, we are in week 4. You know what I mean? And at some things, it doesn't matter what grade you're in. When we're starting to play, we got to start growing past a lot of these mistakes, and they got to start growing as an offense. And I think a lot of times when you step up in competition, which clearly they had tonight,
yes,
you've got to step up your execution. So a lot of things they may have gotten away with a couple weeks prior, they couldn't get away with that tonight. And that showed. So you got to be able to adjust and make plays, and we saw that later in the game. They had some playmakers. They do. They've got great speed. They've got talent. They've got ability. They've got to just be able to put it together. So I think, all is not lost for the team. They are talented, but they have got to understand what it means to execute, especially at winning time. And they can't go 3 and out. And offensively, they got to be able to sustain drives.
Yes.
So I've got to be pounding away offensively at putting together stretches of, they went 4 or 5 stretches offensively where they didn't get a first down. So they have got to work on sustaining drives against, some really, and Clear Fork's a talented team. So, it's not like they went against a bad defense tonight. So there's a lot to work on, a lot to learn from on both sides. But I am sure Ontario is disappointed, because even with all that, either team could have walked out of here. And I'm telling you right now, that referee could have easily kept that flag in his pocket on that last touchdown, and
yes,
Ontario could walk out of here with the win easily.
Yeah, Mahon coming up with the football there at the end,
yeah.
And this is what lies ahead. We talked about the game against Galleon. They get that at home. They'll back that up with the game against Pleasant. The 2 Marion schools back-to-back there before they get Shelby, and then very winnable games in weeks 9 and 10. So Ontario, they've got to get their act together, but certainly in the new climate, look like they're going to be a playoff team if they can continue to grow and get better throughout the course of the season. And on the flip side for Clear Fork, what a great result for them. 3-1, off to a fantastic start, and now they've got the 2 Marion schools in consecutive weeks, which likely going to be big favorites going into those contests before they match up against Shelby in a game that should be undefeated versus undefeated in the MOAC, and a chance to basically take a stranglehold on the league there in week number 7. So a lot still to be determined here for Clear Fork, but they had to get tonight, and they did just enough.
Yeah, and these games, the interesting things about these games is what we saw tonight. They still have to be played, and you just don't know. They have to be played, and you have to execute. You got to come out every night, and whether you're the better team or not, a lot of times it really doesn't matter. It's can you play the better game on that given night? And that's the beautiful thing about high school sports in general. Can you play the better game on Friday night? It really doesn't matter whether you're the better team. Can you put together a better game on Friday night? And
it wasn't much better.
Yeah, right.
But it was still a leg up from what they had on the
True.
competition
That's right.
here tonight. Boy, great result here for the Colts. If you are in and around the Valley, you might want to come out, shake a hand, give a hug, buy a lemonade or something, because these kids, they worked hard out here to earn this 14-10 win. And for Ontario, for these young pups, put a hand on a shoulder and just let them know you still got more than half the season to go in the regular campaign, and you can bounce back. You enjoyed all this action live and free thanks to our generous sponsors. Couldn't be here without the likes of Global Energy Partners, Wellspring Custom Pharmacy, OhioHealth, Schmidt Security Pro, Buckeye Horizon, Mechanics Bank, Charter Next Generation, and Sutton Bank. Our fantastic team here tonight on location. Jeremy Peoples, my camera guy, all football season long. Jackson Yoder showing up and showing out for us, dropping some nuggets on you at the first half and then post game. And for my amazing partner, Effie James, always bringing it, the coach here in the booth with me. I am Brian Skowronski signing out for now, but I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. We've got the Friday Night Pigskin Week 4 edition coming up from the studio. I'll see you guys there in about 90 minutes. But for right now, we are out of here from the Valley. Enjoy your Friday, everybody.